Then guys, so here's the 69 mod, and the 69 mod is made from stainless steel throughout, and as you'll notice it's a side firing button, and on the button it says number 69. Just above there we have a battery venting hole, and then we have the Atman Mikani logo on the bottom, which is polished stainless, and then the airflow ring for slash top cap. So if you're taking airflow from the 510, you'll notice the two dimples here on the nail section, and then the two holes, and then that gives you the airflow into your 510 if you can just make out the holes. So as I say, the mod itself is telescopic, so you can do all 18 series battery modes, and it's called the 69 mod because you can have the switch at the top or bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into all individual parts, and then I'll show you how to orient everything. So as I say, there's your two air holes in the top cap. It's polished stainless, and it's got the nice dimple pattern on there, well machined. Then under that you've got your O-ring, which seals the top cap so that you can turn the airflow, your 510 connection, and a silver plated positive contact, which is reverse threaded. And then that comes apart like so. You have a black dowel ring insert and your silver plated copper contact. Or sorry, silver plated brass I think, and then your reverse threaded 510 contact. And then in the top cap, all you've got is the threads. It's all really well machined, really nice threads. And there's your airflow holes and the dimples to line the top cap up to get air into your 510 connection. And then we have the telescopic tube itself. Now, I don't know if you'll notice or not, but there are some lines on there, and unfortunately the threads do leave them lines. I'm sure over time they may bed in, but the threads are all really smooth, really well cut, and then this tube is also polished, so you have a matte and polish finish throughout the mod. So as you can see, the threads are all really nice and clean, and it's very lightweight tube, that is, but it isn't all that thick, but it seems pretty strong. And then we have your bottom tube, which is a brushed stainless finish with a battery vent hole and threads that go all the way down until, sorry, there's two battery vent holes all the way down until the battery vent holes, and then it's a different type of threading, which is the same as what's on the top cap and your switch housing assembly. And then the switch itself. So the switch has when it's on do. So it's another silver plated contact that screws into the black dowel ring, and then I believe, yeah, another reverse threaded contact, and this one is going to be your battery rattle adjustment screw, and both are silver plated telescopic contacts. And then there's the bottom of your switch housing. So the switch itself has the ability, you basically pull it out, it is a little stiff, needs a slightly thinner O-ring in there I think, and then so if your 69 logo is going sideways, it won't fire. And if it's the right way up, that will then fire. So that Mamikani bottom portion has the engraving, serial number and the train. It also has a silver plated contact, and that's made out of stainless steel. And then inside your switch you can see there's a spring, a white piece, I'll take it to bits. So the contact that screws through the switch bar is also silver plated, and your button is attached onto a dowel ring housing. And what happens is, once you screw that contact in there, you have the spring which pushes it up against the wall of the housing, and then the O-ring is basically your insulator, but it's, well, say insulator, it's more to enable the locking and unlocking of the button, and it helps to hold it in the right place. Now it is a little fiddly, so what you have to do is get your O-ring on there first, then sit your spring in and push it all together. Then all you want to do is slide the O-ring back towards your button, and then you're just going to screw in the contact. So then what will happen is, this obviously is going to be either your positive or negative. When the button's pressed, it will touch up against the pin on this cap, or your pin under your top cap section. So let me show you. So obviously you want the adjustable pin facing upwards, it says. Like so. The threads are really fine on there, so, and you do have to be careful obviously with the dowel ring. So then you've got a contact post there, which when you press that button it will touch against there, and then same there. That end of the contact will push against this part of the button. And that's what will give you your firing mechanism. So then, so that's reverse threaded. What you need to do then is we're going to put it into a few different modes for you. We've got a button top. So we're going to take some different size batteries, and the first one we're going to concentrate on are the 18350s. So basically you can either have your tap cap on your switch assembly, or the button, the cap off the bottom of the mod, and then you'll have your thicker tube, you'll drop your battery down in there, screw on your top cap, and as you can hear there is battery rattle there. So what you need to do is the contact in the bottom of the mod, screw it clockwise to bring it out a little, still not quite enough. So that's all your battery rattle taken away. Then, just like I say, it's reverse threaded for your 510 connection as well. And then that's 18350 mode, bottom firing. Vaping like a treat. So we'll remove the top cap, and if you want to say put a nipple top 18350 in there, just going to back that contact back a little and go through and do it from the button end. So that's obviously 18350 mode, and for any other mode I find that you don't have to touch really the battery rattle screws, because your tube then does all the work. So all I do is I back it back in all the way. You drop your battery in, wind out your tube, and there's 18500 mode with the bottom firer, and then same again if you want an 18650. Wind your tube out, drop your battery on in there, and there's 18650 mode, which works out to be 10.5 centimeters for just the mod because of your button. So it works rather nicely. So then your other option is top loaded button, and pretty much all you have to do is swap your bottom cap onto the thick tube like so, your button assembly onto the top tube, and your top cap onto there, and then you have a top button. I'm only going to do it in 18500 for this. It's the same process, apart from now your battery rattle adjustment screw is at the positive end. Like so. So as you can see, there's quite a fair amount of adjustment with this mod, and it's obviously called the 69 because your switch can go top or bottom. And I will just say the quality of this clone for $19.99 is quite incredible. It's definitely one of my favourite mods. However, there are downsides. As it's a telescopic mod, you're probably not going to be using this to be doing sub-ohming on, but we'll do a quick fault check actually. And then the other downside is, because the O-rings under your switch is a little fat, makes it quite difficult to use the lock feature, and because the edges of the button are so thin, they do become quite sharp. But swap out an O-ring, it's not really going to be an issue. So what we'll do is a quick voltage check. So the K-fun's at 1 ohm. Screw the voltmeter on in there. Give it a bit of adjustment. Need a calculator. It's far easier with a calculator. Right, so 4.09 volts in the battery. Hoping you can see that okay. So a 1 ohm K-fun. .57. So that's half a volt voltage drop, which, as I say, it's not really sub-ohm capable, but for everything else it's ideal. Right then, so if there's anything I forgot, it's made of, like as I say, it's made of stainless steel. All contacts are silver plated. It's 22mm. Can use all battery types, and with 18350s and 18500s you can use a kick. However, with an 18650 you will not get a kick in there. Right, so that's the up close. I think I pretty much covered everything, so we'll go back up top and talk about it a little bit. Right, okay then guys, so that's the 69 clone from angelfiremods.co.uk. This one's made by Infinite and it's £19.99. So as you saw in the close-up, there is quite a lot of adjustment to be had with this. But it's very customizable. I've never been a fan of a side firing mod. I prefer to use my little finger to fire, but with this I get the option of still using my little finger down the bottom or firing using my thumb. But yeah, so the quality of it is outstanding, even down to the engravings on the button. This is probably going to be mirrored, actually, thinking about it, but oh well. So yeah, my opinion then is, so let's talk pros and cons. So we'll do the two cons first, like which I mentioned is, well, one of them's not really a con, it's just don't use it for sub-ohming because you've got quite a big voltage drop. And then the other one is the button's a little stiff to lock and it's quite sharp around the edges. So pros, the finish is really nice. You've got the so you've got polished, brushed, polished, brushed, polished, and then you've got the little bits of nailing just where you grip to take your tap cap on and off. You've got the option of the airflow to the 510. It'll take any battery and it's silver plated contacts. So even though there is a loss on the voltage, it does hit reasonably well for to make up for that loss in using a telescopic tube. So that's all from me then guys on this one, because it's already been nearly 25 minutes. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon for another video.